Good morning, my friends. Welcome back. It's Belinda here from Visualized NZ. It's Trashcraft Tuesday time. So for my trash today, I am going to use a tissue box. And I love working with tissue boxes. I think the patterns on them can be really, really pretty. And I do love this one. And I've kept a couple of panels that are in good condition from it. But this one, obviously this one's got all the branding and everything over it, so it's not particularly pretty in itself. And then this panel, which looks pretty on this side, has got the damage from where it was glued down. So, you know, as a intact panel, it's not really going to work for what I might want to use it for. So I've already cut it down to be the size of a page in height-wise. And I'm going to make belly bands with these pieces of box because I realized in my stash of pre-made ephemera, I've got quite a few journal cards, quite a few tags and that sort of thing, but I haven't got much in the way of belly bands. I've maybe got one or two, and I've used some recently, so what I did have, you know, it's reduced down to one or two. So I think I'm going to get 3 belly bands out of this. This one with the damaged bit on it is going to be a wider one. So I'm just going to take a random sort of amount, and I'm not measuring it, I am just lining it up so I cut straight. Oops, that didn't go all the way through. Do another pass, and there we go. And I'm tempted to keep this bit even though it's damaged. Like if I tore the rest of that off, it would be nice and thin. So for now, I'm going to hold on to it. I don't know whether I'll totally keep it, but I'm just going to let that decision rest for a wee bit. So we've got this panel here, which is going to be, well, which is 2 3/4 inches wide. And I think that's quite a nice belly band width. So if I pop it on the page here, then it's quite a nice width. You can still see parts of the journal card or piece of paper, whatever you put in behind. You'll still be able to see bits on the side. So that's going to be one. And I'm not going to leave it like that. I will be, although I kind of do like that. It's quite pretty, isn't it? Okay, maybe I'll change my mind. Anyway, we'll move on to this one. And this one I'm going to cut into 2. And these are going to be narrower. So we are looking at about 11, just over 11 centimeters wide. So if we go 5.5-ish. So I know I switch between centimeters and inches. I don't mean to confuse you all, but it just depends what I'm working with. So my craft cutting mat here is in centimeters. So that's why I went to centimeters, and quite often I like doing things in inches, even though it's not our unit of measurement here in New Zealand. We are metric. But I don't know, sometimes it's just easier taking those bigger blocks. I don't know, it's just me. I'm a bit random sometimes. If you're used to my videos, you might say I'm random all the time. I don't know, what would you call me? So this 2 1/4 inches there, and that one is just a fraction over 2 1/4, and that one's a fraction under. So though they're close enough to being even, which doesn't matter because they will be in completely different journals at the end of the day. Now here we have a decision on which side we are going to work on, because one side's going to be glued down. So I was thinking I would work on this lovely side and leave this side to face the page because it's nice and smooth and slippery, which means that when you put something under it, it's going to slide in really nicely. And then I thought, but would the glue run a risk of coming off because of this slippery, shiny surface? And I thought it is possible. So at the end of the day, I decided it was better to decorate this side and leave the plain card side to be the one that's hidden, you know, that goes down on the page like so. So it will still be nice and smooth, just not slippery, and things will still go in fine. So let's start with these two, because I was going to do all three the same treatment, but now I'm rethinking this one. So what I've grabbed out is I've grabbed out some scraps of bits and pieces, all sorts, and then I've grabbed out a digital, and then one of my digitals that was a misprint because I backed it upside down. So I thought I would just grab a couple of full sheets as well, so I've got plenty of material to work with. Let's start by, oops, why can I not do that properly? Let's just cut it. Save ourselves a whole lot of messing around with me trying to tear it. And that wasn't even a small piece we were tearing. Goodness. I need to practice. Maybe I just need to spend a day sitting here and practicing my technique of ripping with the ruler. And I think I've got it held done tight enough, but always goes wonky on me. Which is a little annoying when I like the torn edge look. Anyway, while I'm doing this, tell me, how are you today? What are you up to? How's the week been going so far? Is it a good one? You passed the Monday hump? Well, it's not really a hump, but you know, there's all those jokes out there about a Monday not being so fun. You head into the new week and you've weeks stretching out ahead of you. But that's what I like about a Monday, is like the week is so full of possibilities. Like lots that you can achieve, lots that you can do, lots of things that might happen, you know, good, hopefully good. Right, so that's trimmed down now. So let's start collaging up, because that's where I'm aiming, is to collage. And I put all that in my way, didn't I? That was not bright. Not bright. So yeah, let me know how your week is going so far. I'm just going to start with that, I think. Just that little strip. Or do I want to save it and do a length, because it's big enough to... Maybe I'll save it and do a length. Okay. Changing my mind on the fly. Let's grab a bit of this lovely warm colours. We may have an interruption too. Okay, I'm not going to cut this exactly the size. I am going to trim around it once I've collaged it. I find that generally is quite easier than trying to get everything perfectly sized, and then you glue it down slightly off, and then you've got to either patch it or trim it or do both. So why not just make it a fraction big to begin with, and then I'll just trim right around it and it will be good as gold. So as I was saying, we may have an interruption because Callie, who is not home very often, is home at the moment. She came in just about 10 minutes ago. And she's already looking at me. She's already had cuddles, but it's quite possible that she will come up looking for more cuddles. So just be aware, if there's a sudden flurry of fur, it'll be her. And I can't not give her attention when she comes home, when she's so rarely home these days. She doesn't get on with two of our cats. One is not too bad, and the youngest one she sees as a bigger threat, so she just doesn't settle when they're around. So at the moment they're locked outside so she can have some inside time and get some food and have some cuddles and all that good stuff. But if you suddenly see this thing of fur land in front of you, don't be alarmed. It's only Callie come to say hello. It's quite funny when you're doing these small areas, you end up with strips, and I think I'm just going to go with that. I'm just going to go with the strippy look. If I'd left them together and then cut them in half, it might have been a good idea, but oh well. You do it that way. If that's what you want to do, you do it that way. I just didn't think about it. I just wanted to cut them to size, and yeah. So that's what I did. So bits of jelly prints that are just hanging around. You know, I need to get used up so I've got more excuse to do more jelly printing. It's never a bad thing, is it? Have an excuse to do jelly printing. Like you need an excuse. I mean, what am I saying? Nobody needs an excuse to jelly print. You just do it because it's fun. But I do know I have quite a stack of completed pages that I just need to use because I get a bit precious about them. It's like I love them too much. And if I use them, I don't have them anymore. Right, that's sticky, that big bit there. So I'm just going to snip that off and pop it in my collage phone book. Yep, she's eyeing me up. But because I'm talking, she's a bit uncertain. It's like, who are you talking to, Mummy? I don't quite know if it's safe or not. I don't know if there's a gap on this page. I'm just going to put it on this page anyway. Here we go. And I'll keep that out because I think I'll do this bit as well because it's all gluey. Is that bit gluey? That bit's already dry, so I'm just going to get this bit that's still got wet glue on and pop it in the book as well. Very handy to have these books, whether you use a phone book or a magazine or a composition book or whatever. You can use whatever you like, just to have it at hand to stick down these random gluey bits. It's super helpful, and then you've got a collage masterboard ready to go for whatever project you need. Right, so we've got a couple of jelly prints there. Let's go for a bit of this digital. Just tearing a big strip off. I might go up the top there with that one. And I'm not going to glue right to the edge because I know I'm not going to need right to the edge. Oh, sticking to my glue page there. So do you use belly bands? I know not everybody actually uses belly bands in their journals. I really like them. I think they allow a bigger journal card than what you might use, or a piece of paper folded. Just gives more opportunities for different bits and pieces and a different look, and it's fun. So, but I do know that not everybody actually uses them. No, I don't really want to put another jelly print in there. We've already got a couple. Let's use a bit of this, just a bit of book page that I use to, you know, do things on to catch overflow of paint and the ink and stuff. So let's use a bit of that. Just take down off that plainer sort of top there. It's not that exciting. And that bit of text talks about accounting software. Not terribly thrilling in my world. Which reminds me, I've got a tax return to do. Boring. It's really overdue, but I got an extension for it due to my surgery. But still, here she comes. She's coming. Just going to snip off that. And she's on my hip. She's trying to get to my arms. Do you want to say hello to the people, Callie? Whoops, are you right? This is Callie. Can you see? She's probably just a big blob. Can you look up here? I don't know if you can see that. Probably can't focus on her. She's right. She's sniffing the camera. Like that's what she's doing right now. So you'll just see a blur. She wants cuddles. She's trying to climb into my arms right now. So I'll pause the camera, but I have to get her onto me first so I can reach the camera, so I can see what I'm doing. So I'll pop you on pause, I'll give her some cuddles, and then I'll come right back. Well, however long it takes for the cuddles. See you soon. So I just thought I'd give you a little look at my Callie since she's curled up in my arms. She's a wee darling. I love her to bits. And you can actually get a proper look at her now. She's a calico cat. Aren't you, baby girl? My little floof ball. So it's a slightly less blurry look at her. You're going to bury your face. You're going to turn upside down. Okay, I'll put you back on hold. Sorry about that interruption, but I mean, she's just my baby girl. She's not our youngest girl cat, but she's my baby girl. And I had to give her some cuddles. So she's hopped down, she's eating again, but she might be back. So let's see if we can crack on and get this done before she wants cuddles, because I'd really like to give her some long, special time where she can just relax and hang out in my arms, because that's her safe place, in my arms. And it just fills my heart with joy and makes me all emotional when I just look down, just like she's a human baby. She's she's just very precious girl. Right, I think I'm going to rip this down even smaller, which may seem like a totally crazy thing to do. So call me crazy. I don't mind. I'm going for it. So which bit? Because I've got this little gap here that didn't get covered, and I want to put this small strip, or do I want to put this larger strip, wider strip on there? I think I want this narrow one, so let's just do that. Sorry, reaching completely under the camera. I hope I've reset the camera okay after our little peekaboo at Callie in my arms. It was a bit tricky to do, and I think that's why she hopped down, because I was moving a bit much for her. She likes me to be perfectly still unless I'm patting her. Yes, I'm a crazy cat mum. But yes, she's a beautiful girl. And I think, is she about 8 years old now? I think. I keep forgetting, and I usually have to ask hubby, how old is this cat? How old's that cat? Hasn't got glue on, so I'm just trimming up now around the edges, so we can see what we've got and what we're dealing with. This side just needs a few hairy bits sort of tidied up, neatened. Oh, my scissors need a clean. Gosh, they look terribly sticky and with tiny little fragments of paper stuck all over them. Okay, I missed a bit up the top. Right, so that's our base. So perhaps we'll move on to this one and get this one done as well. This one's going to be a bit more scrappy, rather than strips like the other one. So this is cut off for the other one, so let's just put this on. Oh, I must remember to rip that page off. It's getting a bit sticky. Because already these two bits I'm putting on, or the first bit I put on and this bit don't go all the way across, so it's going to be a little more scrappy. And why not? So let's put that bit there. Trying to use up the scraps, the trash. Oh, Callie's not happy. There was dogs barking outside. Made her a bit uncomfortable. You're okay, Callie. Oh, there they go, barking again. Right, I think I might put some more of this paper on that we've got at the bottom. And I think I'm going to try and make it more scrappy and less strippy. Right, change my page. That's what I was going to do. Who amongst you are cat people and who's a dog people and who is any other type of animal people, like horse or bird, or maybe you're not an animal lover at all. That's okay too. Takes lots of different types of people in the world to make it interesting. We're not all the same, are we? Far from it. We're definitely cat people. We do like dogs too, and we have had a dog. But he passed away, 2017, maybe? 2018, something like that. I can't quite remember. He was a black lab, and he was a beautiful dog. He was just the sweetest natured. I bought him for my hubby's birthday, his first birthday after we were married, and we found out that he was actually born on our wedding day, so that made him even more special. His name was Wag, and he was a beautiful boy. But when he passed, we decided we wouldn't have another dog, just because our lifestyle is quite busy, and we felt like we couldn't give of our best. And you know, dogs need exercise, they need lots of attention. Our house is not suitable for an inside dog, so it has to be an outside dog, and that provides, you know, a distance. So we decided it was better off if we didn't have another dog for the dog and for us, and we'd just stick with cats, which, you know, are easier to care for. They are often happy doing their own thing. They certainly do like the attention and need attention and cuddles and stuff, but they're not as needy as a dog, and I think most people would agree with that. So yeah, so that we do like dogs, and I love horses. Had my own horse for a short time, but she wasn't a suitable horse for me, because I'm not terribly experienced. I grew up riding horses at a friend's farm, but never had care of one, and this horse had been in an accident and did not like being ridden, and I needed a horse that I could ride. So I spent a lot of time with her and really worked at trying to comfort her and, you know, build a relationship. But as soon as you got on it, it was just like, nope, I'm not having this. So made the painful decision to give her back to the person who'd given her to me. And I've never had another one. I don't think at this stage, at my age, that I will ever have another horse. But I would love to go riding. Like, I'd love to go horse riding, but I don't think I'll ever own one again, because one, they're not cheap. They're not a cheap animal to have. The shoeing or foot trimming, if they're not shoed, then you've got to have their feet trimmed and teeth checked and, you know, vaccines and, you know, all this stuff. But because they're a big animal, it seems like it costs 10 times more. And it's just the reality of it. And I've still got my saddle and all the tack gear that I bought when I had my horse, and it's hardly been used. And I know it's really dumb, I know, but I just can't bear to part with it, because it's like my dream was to have a horse, and the only part of my dream left is the tack. And if I get rid of the tack, then my dream's over. I don't know, is that silly to you? I know it's silly because it's quite a, you know, reasonable sum of investment tied up in that tack, although it wasn't, you know, it wasn't expensive stuff, it was cheap stuff as far as tack goes. But yeah, I haven't been, and every time I think I'm gonna, okay, yep, no, I'm gonna sell it, and then I just don't do anything about it, and I know it's because I'm not ready. I can't bring myself to part with it. And my mum helped me buy it, my godmother helped me buy it, you know, gave me money towards the stuff. And so in some ways the tack has very sentimental value to me. And perhaps that's the crux of it, is that the tack has a big sentimental value, regardless of whether it's being used and whether it's in the way in my craft studio. It's attached to my heart. I guess that makes sense, doesn't it? It's attached to my heart. Oops, little bits of paper flying. I'm just trying to move things up out of my way. So here we have 2 collaged belly bands. So need a bit of decorating. I do want to ink them, of course I do. Or Callie is now curling up on my Sherpa blanket on the couch. Oh, she's so sweet. So there'll be no more cuddle visits, I don't think. She looks like she's quite happy to curl up and enjoy the warmth and the safety. No one's gonna get to her, attack her, bother her. Looking very relaxed, which is lovely. So I don't mind if the cat door stays closed all afternoon until she wants out, until she's ready to go out. Then the other cats will be fine outside. It's a lovely day, so they'll be, you know, they're all good. They'll be hungry when they come back in, and that's okay too. You know, they're not going to starve in an afternoon, or half an afternoon actually. It's already 3 o'clock. Right, so there we've inked up. Oh, there's some sticky bits. They'll dry. That's okay, they'll dry. Right, how would I like to decorate these? Do I want to decorate these is the other thing. I could leave them until I decide what journal they are going to go in. But nah, I think I want to decorate. So, likely suspects, labels. So we'll grab out the labels. Birds, maybe. If we can find a bird or birds that are narrow enough to fit on these. So let's, ones that are definitely not narrow enough. Oh, I've picked this up in a number of times. That actually fits quite well. Just maybe we want to go flamingo. Not my favourite bird, I have to say. A flamingo is not my favourite bird. He's a little bit little. It's too wide. A couple of dark birds. They're actually not too bad. They stand out quite nicely on the background. So go dark and go pink. Just check which way round. That one's slightly wider, so maybe the flamingo works better on that one. How about these two? I think they're okay, but I'm wondering if they're too dark for me. There's just no, I don't want to introduce yellow, I don't think. Oh, you would be lovely, but you're too wide. I was like, why have I got this? It's a penguin with its head chopped off. I think I've kept it because I've still got the baby penguin. I was like, oh, scrap, I need to throw that out. That's no good, but yes, it's fine. Just a wee baby. Too wide. It's the trouble, I think a lot of these are actually going to be too wide. That one's definitely too wide, or too small, or too big. I said I didn't want to introduce yellow, but there is a little bit of yellow actually in my painty paper there. But I think it's actually supposed to go that way, which makes it too wide. Okay. That's too big. They're not too bad if I trimmed off one of their tails. I actually think I like them, so I'm going to go with them. Just need to do a bit of trimming. in between their tails. I don't think I need to do this bit here because I think it's going to end up chopped off, but I will check that before I glue it down and find that, oops, I did need to trim it off. Bit hard to once it's stuck down. I think some of it actually will need to go, so yes, I definitely need to check around their little claws. It's not going to go too fussily. I want to take out the majority of that background colour. And I'm just going to go ahead and trim this anyway because it's not going to take too much. It's quite easy little space to get rid of. Yeah, I definitely needed to take it out. Oh, there's cats trying to come in the cat door. Okay, I'm happy with that. I feel like it needs something behind it though to make it pop. Do I want a bit of text? Let's try a bit of text. I like that. I do. Surprise, surprise, I like a bit of book text on my ephemera. I guess you'll all be surprised by that. Not. I don't know that I've got a recipe, but I think I've got a recipe. It seems to be a few things I always gravitate to. And that's not a bad thing. It's just that's what I like the look of. And so if you found things you like the look of, why wouldn't you go to that? Okay, so nice. Okay, do we want anything else layered underneath? Did have something. Where's it gone? No, whatever it was, there was something, a bit of chalk or something that was running around. I've hidden it somewhere. It's been absorbed into a pile, so I won't waste time looking for that. I'm going to give them a little bit of a darker edge, and also hide that little bit of background that I didn't take out around their claws. Just one tail to trim. Do want label? Do I want the label underneath? So I've got some labels here from the Junk Journal Studio that might work nicely on this. I quite like that. Okay, let's give it a little bit of a frame up as well. Oh, it makes me very happy to see Callie sleeping inside, just relaxed and having some quiet, safe time. Just looking to make sure there's no words that I want to cover up, because if I'm going to cover it up, then now would be a good time. No, I can't see any words that are negative or bad, so I think I'll go about there. Rather check now and take care of it now, rather than arrange everything, do my composition, then find I needed to cover something, and I've got to, work against the composition that I've already carefully arranged. Yep, I like that there, just right in the middle of the belly band, really. And just trim off that little bit of tail. No bird was harmed in the making of this belly band. Okay, do I need anything else? Actually, I might do some stamping, so I'll pop that aside for a moment and let's do this one. So again, I'm going to ink around it. This one's a different book, and it's quite a thicker paper and shinier somehow. They're both shiny books that their things came from, but this one seems to be shinier. Right, maybe a label that it's standing on for this one. Feeling like a different style label. What about one from Artsology? Sorry, just have to bring it closer so I can grab it. Oh, is that too wide? It is too wide. But I can trim it. That's okay. I don't mind losing a bit off each edge. Now I'm like, do I actually like that? I'm not sure. I think I need some book page on this as well. But I think I want a sideways strip. Yes, I want a sideways strip. So let's pop that on first. Building up the layers, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Adds interest. So I wanted it in between those two. Oh, they're annoying me because they're sticking to my mat, so let's get rid of them. And I've buried my collage foam book, so I'm just going to put those in the trash to save me fluffing around. Yeah, it's like an extension of the water. To me, it gives the effect that this is like a pool. I know it's a totally different colour. I don't understand exactly why, but just visually, that's what it's saying to me. And feels like it's got a home rather than this random bird with a bit of water lurking in the middle of my belly band. So you now have a home, Flamingo, after hanging out in my bird box for quite some time. We have given you a home. Okay, now do I like this tag? I mean, I do like this label, but is it the one to go on here? I mean, even could leave it hanging off the edge would be fine, because it wouldn't interfere with things going in. So that would be okay. Do I need book page in behind it, perhaps? Maybe that's what it's saying to me. Maybe a little bit less. Oh, don't like the words on that side. That side's better. Yes, I like it. I like it with words underneath. Again, it just seats it in somehow. Oops. Wind my glue stick up. Wind it up for takeoff. Now we're coming into land. Gosh, I talk some nonsense. I hope you enjoy my inane chatter. Keeps you company somehow. Right, and I'm going to give this a little ink. Just there's a few little white spots around the black border that I can see. I may or may not trim off the sides. I haven't decided. Oops, don't put it upside down, dear. Let's go the right way up. Now I should have trimmed the book page first before I stuck that on, because now I've either got to trim it even or I've got to trim the whole thing. Let's go even, and then I can always trim off the sides. We'll give that a whirl first and see how we feel. Oops, and it's not straight. Let's see if we can fix that. There we go, that's better. Now make sure it glues back down. Beauty of glue stick, eh? It gives you a little moment to rework something if you need to. I feel like there needs to be something else, and maybe something else down here. Could go a word. And I'm wondering if I've got any found words that would work. I don't want to spend a lot of time looking, but I'm just going to have a quick flip through. These are all words that I've cut out of magazines and stuff. You just see. Sorry I'm doing this off screen, but it's really the only way to do it. Be radiant. Pop it off to the side there. I quite like that. Let's go with it. So it's again using more trash. It's just a cutout out of a magazine. So I like, when I'm doing the trash craft projects, to incorporate as many trashy items as possible without using new stuff. Of course, that's necessary from time to time. But just trying to use as much trashy things as I can to honour the purpose of these videos for Trash Craft Tuesday. Right, so happy with that there. Do I want something round up here? You know I do. I don't know why I'm even asking, because you know I do. And you can probably guess what I'm going to use, if I can find one that works, as a little round number. that one will do. Just like adding a round element to provide just, I don't know what it is. What does a round element do visually? Gives your eye a different shape, bit of variance. Okay, I'm calling that one done. I'm going to leave these side bits here for the moment. They may end up getting chopped off, but I think they do need inking because I think that will help them look a bit better. Also need to do where I've added that book page on top, so it looks like it's not just plonked there, which it kind of was, but people don't need to know that. Okay, so there's a belly band. Let's grab this other one back and again do the inking where I added the book page. Would we like any other labels or numbers? We didn't try a number on this, so it's too wide. Don't want something too big. Thinking that colour's not right. It's green. It's better. Feeling like it's a bit too... Oh, actually, I don't mind it down the bottom. Let's pop it down the bottom there. These are my hand-stamped numbered labels that are labels, I guess they're called labels, that are available in my Etsy shop. All sorts of different shapes and colours and styles. Okay, and do we want a word up the top maybe? Can we strike another one that we want to use? Life lessons, maybe not. Delightful? Yes, let's use that. Let's use delightful. Just need to trim up that edge, it's a bit skew. So we've used the same elements, similar elements on both of them, but just given them a slightly different composition. And I haven't got a round element on this one, but I don't think this one needs it. I think it's okay. Let's go about there. The other thing I was thinking about was adding some stamping, but I actually, now that I've added those extra bits, I don't think that it's needed. Although it's not always about need, is it? Not those ones. Do we want some dotties? Let's go dotties. And what colour? Thinking maybe coffee colour. And let's just add a few dots here and there. And I need a backdrop bit of paper. crossword puzzle book that I've used up some paint on. So let's just do it onto that and add some random bits here and there. Trying to just get on the inside part there. There we go, that one, and let's do the same with this other one. Can't have them missing out. Maybe a little bit just in the text in there. Just kind of helps bring it all together. There we go. I think that is adequate. Don't want to go too heavy on that. Right, quick clean of the stamp and I think we are done. So I've still got that other one that I haven't finished, but I am thinking of giving that a different treatment. If I can find it under here. So let's move this out of the way. So here's the other one. Move that out of the way. So first off, let's look at these two. So that's going to be really nice as a belly band. I'm very happy with that. And this one, still not in love with Flamingo, but I think he will find a home and he will look pretty. Yep. So happy with that as well. And this one, I'm thinking about maybe just doing some tissue paper, like maybe some clear tissue paper, maybe some brown pattern paper, and layering up some of that so we still get this beautiful pattern, but that it's not just plain, and then layering that up. So, but I will do that another time and probably just do it not on camera, because I felt like we've done our thing in today's video. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed this project using up the tissue box. And if you don't have tissue box, any cardboard's going to do. Any cardboard packaging from a cereal box or such like is going to be absolutely fine. So belly bands, if you've never used them, give them a go. See what you think. Might be your new best thing in your journal. So take care, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me. If you're new to the channel, it's a bit late to be saying this, but welcome. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, just to catch more videos as they come out. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you back again soon. Bye for now.